Even as critics have long questioned the relevance of United Nations in addressing global issues such as geopolitical conflicts and humanitarian crises, General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock, in her closing remarks at the UNGA, which recently concluded, highlighted that 189 UN member states delivered speeches at the general debate, and that includes those from 124 heads of states and governments.
If this high-level week is an indication this House is fulfilling that purpose, the United Nations is still relevant. Over the past week, we have heard from 189 member states, including 124 heads of state and government. Delegations, I thank you for your proactive leadership, for embracing diplomacy, for not shying away from the hard topics, for proving why our United Nations remains critical, especially facing a crossroads.
Notably, the UNGA remains the only forum where voices as diverse as the Vatican and North Korea find a platform. In a rare appearance, North Korea sent a high-level delegation to the United Nations General Assembly's annual meeting for the first time in several years. Speaking at the UNGA, a senior North Korean diplomat reiterated that his country won't give up its nuclear weapons, calling them crucial to maintaining a balance of power with South Korea.
우리는 국법을 철저히 수호할 것입니다.
We will never give up nuclear power, which is our state law, national policy and sovereign power, as well as the right to existence. Under any circumstances, we will never walk away from this position.
The Vatican has been a permanent observer state at the United Nations since 1964, enabling it to participate in General Assembly discussions and consensus building, but not to vote. Expressing Vatican's support for a two-state solution in West Asia, Archbishop Paul Richard Gallagher stressed that the international community should take collective action to prevent and end conflicts, combat poverty and advance human rights.
It is crucial for the international community to take collective action to prevent and end conflicts, combat poverty and advance human rights solemnly declared in the 1948 Universal Declaration, and one of the most important achievements of this organization. It is important to remember that isolationism leads to unpredictable instability, whereas unity fosters responsible resilience and shared progress.
Russian President Vladimir Putin launched the biggest autumn conscription drive since 2016 in Russia. In the latest draft, Putin has ordered 135,000 men to volunteer for compulsory military service. And this is part of Russia's autumn conscription drive. Russia holds two conscription drives every year. One is in spring and the other is in autumn. Now, under these drives, men aged 18 to 30 required to serve for 12 months. And typically, more men are drafted in the conscription, which takes place in spring, when students finish school or universities. Earlier this year, the spring 2025 intake reached 160,000, which was the highest in more than a decade. The Kremlin says that this year's autumn draft is not related to the war in Ukraine. Officially, conscripts are supposed to remain at military bases inside Russia, but Kiev claims to have captured conscripts on the front line. And Putin himself admitted some were mistakenly sent into combat in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. Beyond conscription, Russia has relied heavily on contract soldiers, lured by high salaries and large sign-up bonuses. Putin has ordered the military to expand to 1.5 million active personnel by 2026. And meanwhile, a new bill passed in the State Duma could see year-round conscription, starting as early as next year.